But basically, I'd just like to start off with just telling how long you've been in the industry and what are some of the positions that you've held within the industry.
So I started working in a bakery. Um, Actually, this bakery was on a newspaper route that I had, and so they needed some help on the weekends in the like kind of late evening, early morning, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. to kind of clean pans and do this. And I was 14 years old. That was 40 years ago. Yeah. So, and then I got involved more and more. I got more responsibility there and stayed there for a while. And I'm busy, Joe.
You know the poster you got, right?
I didn't make one yet.
Okay. Can you send me the JPEG on it?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
DJ contractor. I was mostly focused on working in bakeries. I did work at some fast food places as well, but frequently I also had a bakery job. Sometimes I had three jobs at the same time. And then I progressed, and I was working in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area, California.
Okay,
There's
I know it well.
Okay, you know La Quinta Hotel in La
Yes.
Quinta, city of La Quinta. I was the
Yes.
pastry chef there.
Okay, I was a recruiter in Hemet.
Okay, yeah. So 88, 89. And then at the same time, I was also working a second job because in the desert, during the winter, you work mega hours and you work your tail off. And then in the summertime, you don't work at all. There's no hours, but yet your air conditioning bill is super high.
Yes.
At least it was then. A friend of mine interviewed for this job to be the executive chef here. And I jokingly said, well, when you go there, if you need a pastry chef, give me a call. And so, and that was June of '89 when he called me, and he's talking to me about coming to Korea to work as a pastry chef in a hotel. And I'm watching CNN, and the guy's flagging down the tank in Tiananmen Square. And at the time, I was 26. I didn't know Korea, China, Japan. It's all the same place to me. I ain't going there. There's no way I'm going to do that. So I said, yeah, send me the paperwork and I'll fill it out and whatever. See you later. Bye. Hung up the phone. Told my dad, and he said, this guy wants to hire me for a job in Korea as a pastry chef. He goes, really? I said, yeah. And I think it's for like the army or something. He goes, oh, really? He goes, well, you take that job, and no matter what benefits they offer you, no matter what the cost, you take those two. I said, really? Are you sure? He goes, and my uncle was there too, as my godfather, and they both like, yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. So, okay, whatever. And so, of course, next thing you know, I'm coming over here. It was 1 November '89, and 1 November of 2016, which was a month ago. I was here 27 years, and I got here when I was 27, so half my life I've spent here.
Wow.
Then, so I came here as a pastry chef, and I did that for the first, up through 97. And actually, as I was the pastry chef, they kept giving me more responsibilities. There was a deli. The deli isn't where I see it now. It used to be in another location, and they gave me that responsibility. They added other types of retail stuff responsibility. They kept adding more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, and I just, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And during that same period, from '89 to '97, they went through 7 executive chefs, and there was some real horror stories of how these people crashed and burned out of this place. It wasn't, some left okay, but most of them had bad things happen, and they had to leave. So for the last 2, I would go and apply for the job or whatever, tell them I could do it or whatever it was. So finally, after the last one, it was a real bad ending, I went to the GM's office and I said, hey, look, you can't do any worse than me. And he goes, yeah, you're right. And that was it. And that's how I became the executive chef. And I was executive chef from '97 until 2008. And during that time, there was from '98 until 2005, there was a GM here who eventually was they called him the chief operating officer for the MWR for the Army.
Okay.
And he was a very tough guy, but also a very knowledgeable guy. And I learned a lot, and got to the point where he would introduce me to people as his chief accountant because I knew the numbers, backwards and forwards and upside down. And so going through that and dealing with that, and then as things progressed here, after he had left, they went through one GM that was here not quite 2 years, and it was a real rough road. And so then they brought another GM in, but I don't know the whole backstory, but that's when they said, okay, you're going to be the food and beverage director now.
Okay.
So they made me the food and beverage director in 2008. And so that's the job I've been doing now since 2008, and it's now December of 2016. So basically what that means is I'm responsible for all the food and beverage operations in the entire building. So we serve about 650,000 people a year, plus another 100,000 or so employees. So if you include the pizza at the Subway, it's about 1 million guests per year that's served in this building. And I'm responsible for seeing that, it all goes well. So my job is to basically two things. I have to take care of the employees and take care of the guests. If I take care of the employees who take care of the guests, that's the most important thing. All the numbers aside, it's important that we do make money, because money, which is what enables us to do the rest of this stuff. But you're not gonna make anything if people aren't happy.
True.
Either customers, guests, or the staff who have to serve them.
Well, that's a long history, and especially in one location. I've run into some people who have been in the industry for a long time, but they've moved around to like 30 different
Every 2
hotels.
years, every 3 years.
But
yeah, and my intention wasn't to stay. My wife's not Korean, and we weren't even married when I came. And so when I came over here, I thought, well, I should just come over and hang out and live together for a while or whatever, and go back to the States. And I didn't really have a plan.
okay.
And then as soon as I got here, of course, I found out, well, you can't live here unless you have a visa, and you can't get a visa unless you're either A, married, or B, have a job. So I got here in November. The hotel didn't even open until April.
Oh.
So there wasn't any jobs available. So I got here, and about 2 months before she got here, and then I called her dad and said, hey, I'd like to marry your daughter. And she said, sure. And her excuse for coming here was to bring my dog. I had this whole dog. And so that's why she was coming. So she got here on the 5th of January. We got engaged on her birthday, which is the 12th of January. We got married the 25th of January, 1990.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of, it's one of those things. Life just happens, and and I've been very blessed, and I know it. I'm thankful every day.
Well, that pretty much knocked out like 3 questions of how long you've been here. What is your educational background? Do you have like any degrees as far as culinary?
I started, just like I said, I started working in a bakery when I was 14 years old, and
just
I've
hands-on.
attended classes, and I've done stuff, and I've gone to like Culinary Institute of America for stuff here and there. But did I ever go and sit down and get my degree? No, I didn't.
Okay.
And in the old days, that was probably more common than it is now.
Yeah, some of the videos that our professor has shown us. There's a few guys that have been on there that have been in the industry 30 and 40 plus years, and they're in managerial roles, food and beverage, GMs. Never been to school, but they started when they were like 13. So
Here I am.
It goes to show that
You've met one now.
It's not all about just the education. Sometimes it's just about the hard work and dedication.
I think what's important is that you've got to enjoy what you do. If you don't love what you do, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're installing headlights on the Ford factory line and you love it, you're going to do great. But if you're doing a job like this, or any high-speed job, or any job at all, and you hate life every morning when you wake up, you're better off, laying asphalt or installing headlights. I mean, it's if you're spend most of your waking hours doing something like this, you better like it. You better have a passion for it.
True.
Because otherwise, you won't be good. People can see that right away. I mean, if I thought life sucked here, you could probably tell right away. I'd answered all the questions. I probably would have typed it out and say, "Here you go. Any other questions?" But to see somebody that's interested in the field, it's important that I support people who are coming in because, frankly, I'm not going to be working forever, and I don't want to work forever. But there's got to be people that come behind me that can pick that up. But also, because you or whoever it is has to understand, if you haven't worked in the business before, it's a different animal.
Yeah. And
I was here. I worked Saturday for the Commanding General 8th Army's holiday party for 300 people at the Hartel House. It was about 300. So we did 2 sessions. And Saturday's normally a day off. I usually work on Sunday. So, okay, well, I'll work Saturday. I can take a different day off. No big deal. Well, not this time of year. So then I did that, and then that night we had the Officers' Wives Club had a dinner, like a little fundraising thing. And then at 4 o'clock the next morning, we had the Army-Navy game, where the 8th Army Commanding General and a bunch of other West Point graduates are going to come in and have breakfast, and we normally don't even open the outlet till 6, so we had to be ready. We were ready at 4:30, and the game started at 5. So then I had to be here for that, and then at 11, we had in the lobby something we never did before, which was have kids decorate gingerbread men. So, it's a neat idea, but somebody has to come out and show, figure out how it's going to work and how it's going to function and who's going to do what and how it's going. So there I was again decorating cookies till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's just one of those things. And if you hated life, you wouldn't be doing it. But actually in this case, the West Point game was okay, but decorating the cookies with the kids was a lot of fun. And that was exciting, and it kind of it energized me. Okay, I feel like I'm in the holiday spirit now. Cause, it's busy this time of year. It's tough, and we got a lot of employees that are very tired because they're just getting so many events and functions, and people want to have events, and also people, they seem to have maybe not on their best behavior during the holidays, and so they have to deal with that as well. So and mostly for me it's mostly dealing with employees, making sure the managers that work for me are good, they're comfortable, they're not burnt out, they're not sick, taking care of themselves, and they're taking care of the people that actually are forward facing to the guest. Because at the end of the day, that's where it's called the moment of truth. Every time somebody walks up to the